Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Kyle Dean, Sex and Empowerment Coach, and if you're new here, well, I help you overcome your past, stop listening to the opinions of others, and take power over your future so you can start living life in alignment with what you want and stop just giving everything to everyone else. In this training, it's going to be a good one. I'm going to teach you why being perfect and independent is actually holding you back from the life that you want. We all strive to be independent, but there has to be a time where we ask for help and recognize that we all cannot be perfect. So before we get into it, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want more information on how to feel empowered in your life. But with that said, let's get right into it, why being perfect and independent is holding you back. So we have to start off with what fear-based trauma is and what are fear-based trauma responses, because perfectionism and hyperindependence are two of the big ones. Now, many of us experience trauma in our life, usually growing up, and it causes us to fear being unloved or fear for our safety, especially if we've experienced some form of abuse, physical, sexual, emotional. And this leads to us finding ways to cope, finding coping behaviors to protect ourselves and not make us feel this disgusting way again, that we're not liked, that we're not loved, that we're not good enough. So we do things, whether that's cover up our pain with drugs or alcohol or food, or we just act in a certain way to keep other people happy, to avoid conflict and avoid those feelings of being unloved. Now, we crave being accepted. We're human beings. We all want to be liked. We don't want people to hate us. But the fact of the matter is there's 8 billion people on Earth. We can make everyone happy. But so long as we're trying to make everyone else happy, it's almost a guarantee that you're going to make yourself unhappy. And so we need to do things that make ourselves happy. But if we try to be perfect all the time, it's not going to happen. So perfectionism is one of the main fear-based trauma responses. Now, we feel the need to be perfect because when we didn't get 100 on our test growing up in school, or we didn't do everything exactly right, the people in our life, the people that we loved and wanted to be cared for, they yelled at us, they criticized us. They might have even abused us in our childhood or maybe even in a previous romantic relationship. And because of this, we got made to feel as if we're not perfect and that we're not good enough for love. So we have to do everything right. Because in the past, when I didn't do everything right, someone got mad at me or hurt me. So I got to be better. It's my fault. I'm not good enough. Okay? And so we stress ourselves out due to trying everything and trying to be right, but by other people's standards. And the thing is, every single person in the world has a different standard of what perfect or right is. Depends on who you talk to. So no matter what, no matter how perfect or right you try to be, there's always going to be someone that you disappoint and is going to tell you you're not perfect, that you don't look a certain way, that you don't act a certain way, that you didn't do well enough on the project. And so because of this, if you are trying to be perfect, you are setting yourself up for failure every single time and setting yourself up to disappoint yourself and feel not good enough, feel unloved, and play into the cycle that you're not good enough for forever, because you cannot be perfect, because perfectionism does not exist. And so what happens when you begin to feel like a disappointment all the time? Well, you become a low self-esteem individual, you lose confidence, and you stop taking risk or trying anything new, because every time you've tried other things or you tried to do something else, you weren't good enough, you weren't perfect enough, you weren't right enough. And so why bother anymore? I'm never going to be good enough. It's never going to be perfect. And so out of fear that you won't be perfect and that you'll disappoint again, you don't even try. You don't go after your dreams, and you play it small and you play it safe. Does this sound familiar? Is this ringing a bell in your life? And so instead of taking action, because you want to be perfect, you hesitate. And you start to play out the scenario, whatever it is, in your brain again and again and again. And you determine all of the possible outcomes and exactly how it needs to be perfect in your mind, even though what's perfect in someone else's mind is something different. So your idea of perfection is not what the people you're trying to impress is. It's not going to be the same. And so you just hesitate, planning this thing out forever, days, weeks, months, and you never actually do the thing, and you just cause your own suffering because you're not actually making progress and you're living in fear of not being perfect and what other people will think. Now, perfectionism is this is the second major trauma response, and that's hyper-independence. Okay? We become hyper-independent because often, many of us grow up and where we got abandoned by our mom, our dad, or someone that was supposed to care for us or help us. And so we felt like we had to do everything ourselves because there was no one there to help us. Maybe it's because they were working all the time, or they just didn't have the patience for us. And so when you did ask for help, you were told to do it yourself because they were too busy, or you actually yelled at because you're just a burden and you're getting in the way and they don't have time for you. Figure it out on your own. And so you feel like, I'm supposed to figure this all out on my own and do it myself. Clearly, I'm upsetting people, but you're a little kid, or you're just growing up, or you're an adolescent. You haven't learned everything in life. And so because of this negative feedback, you stop asking for help. And you feel like a burden anytime that you ask for help, and you over-apologize when you do truly ask for help and need help. I'm so sorry, I don't mean to bother you, but I can't figure this out, I really need help, I'm so sorry, I'll pay for your lunch, or I won't ask for anything after this. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like you or someone in your life? So these are the responses. And you feel like a failure, and you feel like you're not capable since you don't know everything. And so it just plays into you becoming this hyper-independent person, that you can't ask for help. And now, let's be real though, being independent is a good trait. That's something that I want all of the people I work with to have in their life, to be empowered, to be independent in your life, and to be able to do as much as you can for yourself. However, feeling the need that you have to do everything yourself and that you cannot ask for help leads to burnout. Because the truth is, I don't know how to do everything myself. Or if I try to figure out everything on my own, it's going to take way too much time, way too much energy, and way too much frustration. When I could just ask someone who knows how to do this, and whether they help me for free or I have to pay them for that service, it might be worth it to save myself the time, the headache, the financials. It's just asking for help. I don't know how to fix a lot of things in my car, so I'd rather just ask for help and pay the mechanic, because they're going to save me so much headache and time trying to figure it out on my own, and I'll probably mess it up still. And so we don't want to waste time, energy, money, and frustration trying to figure things out on our own out of fear of upsetting someone or burdening someone or disappointing someone, because it helps us to speed up the process and get the answers we need instead of playing out the scenarios and causing ourselves our own struggle and suffering. So we feel we have to serve everyone else, most of us who are hyper-independent, but that no one can serve us, because if people are serving us, that means I'm not good enough, I'm not capable, I can't do anything myself. But we have no problem doing everything for everyone else. That doesn't even make sense. If you believe that you should be able to do everything for yourself, then why don't you tell everyone else to do it for themselves? Well, because that would be mean of you, and you would disappoint them, right? So you need to start asking for help and allowing others to serve you just the way that you enjoy serving them, because you are actually preventing others from loving you and from serving you out of fear due to your past experiences. And that hurts other people, because people do want to help. People want to give you a hand, but you get in your own way because you feel the fear of having to do it all on your own. And understand that not everyone's going to get mad at you. And if they do, well, ask someone else for help. And so we have to go, how do we fix this? If you are experiencing these behaviors in your life, these fear-based responses, then we have to fix it. And the first step is acknowledging that you will never be perfect and that you can't do everything yourself. That is the truth. Or if you try to do it yourself, it's going to take probably forever, a lot of time, a lot of stress, and lots of problems. And so recognize that you are deserving of help and not to fear getting help. That you can ask people without a major problem or conflict. And if they say no, it's okay. So to fix these behaviors, you need to do the opposite of perfectionism and the opposite of hyperindependence, which means taking imperfect action. So taking action that isn't perfect in your mind when you're not fully ready, and investing in help, asking for help, hiring help with the things that you struggle to figure out on your own, or it's taking you forever, or you just can't find the answers. Instead of spinning in circles, get someone to help you get out of the cycle and find the right direction. Because recognize that getting help can reduce your stress load and gives the others the opportunity to love and serve us, whether that's for free or that is paid. So invest in help from someone like myself who has overcome these exact behaviors, because I've been this person. I wouldn't be telling you about this or sharing this topic with you if I didn't experience this myself. I've been there, where I've been a man who didn't ask for help because when I did in the past, I got yelled at by my parents. I felt like I was burdening them because they had a short temper. And so I just felt like I just have to do it all on my own because I have to show that I'm good enough, that I'm capable. And I don't want to upset people because they always get upset when I ask for help. But I also don't know how to do everything myself, so whatever. And so understand that what you're going through is normal, but you need to change it because you're stopping yourself from living your dreams and living a life full of connection. Helping each other is a form of connection and love. So you need to allow others to help you. And work with someone. Don't just ask anyone for help, because a lot of people don't have the right knowledge. I'm not going to ask my mom how to fix my car because she has no idea. It's going to cause more conflict. I'm going to ask the mechanic or my friend or uncle who's been working on cars for 40 years because they'll have the right solution and be able to help me fast. So when you have someone who won't judge you and has the right answers and has been through the same thing, they can help you make progress faster and get to the destination that you want in life, where you don't fear asking for help, where you can actually make more progress by going with someone as opposed to alone. Because they always say, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And the truth is, I don't even know if I fully believe in that, because if you want to go fast, sometimes if you don't know the answers, it's going to take you forever. So you can actually go faster when you ask someone for help who knows the answer. Okay? So if you are ready to take action, if you know you have these behaviors, these fear-based trauma responses, and they are very hard for you to stop, and that you're pleasing people all the time out of fear of being perfect, you're not going after the life that you want, and you're stuck because you live in fear, and you struggle to take action because you feel like, I'm not ready, I have to plan, and before you know it, years are going to go by, and you're going to be stuck where you are, living a life out of fear and never making progress out of fear of taking risk and a fear of consequence. When you could have someone in your corner who can encourage you and guide you on how to do these things and make the progress you want in life, not in years, but in weeks. And that's what I help people do, is to overcome these fear-based trauma responses, to not fear taking these actions and heal so you can begin living the life that you want and not the one other people want for you. So if you're ready to take that action, if you are ready to invest in yourself and you're someone who understands the importance of investing in your health and help, then send me a DM on Instagram at Dr. Kyle Dean about what you need help with, and we'll create an individual plan together. One that is based on what has worked for other people and is directed at your individual needs. Or if you are ready to just get started and figure out the plan on the phone, just schedule a consult call with me at the link below this video so we can get started ASAP in getting the help you need. Because I have a plan and a community ready to go to support you in meeting these goals and making this progress in not months, not years, but just 6 to 12 weeks. So if you're ready to do that, just schedule a call below, and I'm happy to get on the phone with you and see how we can make progress in your life. Otherwise, I will see you in the next training, and make sure that you like this video and subscribe so you can get more of these videos as they come out every single week. I love you, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.